Good morning, guys and girls. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to explain why I am having difficulties with agencies. It's not an easy topic for me to talk about, which sounds a bit pathetic, but I'll take you through the entire story just so this video doesn't last 30 seconds because I could just tell you what's up and it'd be over and done with. But nearly 5 years ago now, I got with my new partner and she had a brand spanking new Renault Clio and I absolutely loved it. I loved it, even though at the time I was driving Subaru Imprezas. I think I was on my third or fourth Impreza when I met her. I used to love this Clio. So she used to let me drive it. Fully insured to drive it, no problem. And then after 5-6 months, we moved in together. We got our first house together. It was only going to be a short lease, rent though. We was planning on moving to Wales. So we used to toddle off to Wales in the Clio, looking for houses to rent. So this one particular day we went to a place in Wales called Trefenelli, I think it was called. It had a Y in front of it though. It was Y space Trefenelli. We was looking at this house. It was a 5-bedroom detached house with its own private drive off the road, and it was like a purpley colour. It was amazing, and it was 425 quid a month. So cheap. So we went there in the Clio, driving down this dual carriageway all nice and bonny. We'd been to Wales about 5 times before this, and this AMPR car went past. And I looked at it and I thought, bloody hell, he's going at some speed. You know them low BMWs, estates that they use. One of them, flying past. Forgot about it, carried on driving as you do. And then 3 minutes later, 3 minutes, that's very precise. A couple of minutes later, I noticed this AMPR car didn't have sirens on, but it was going outside, around the outside of all the cars. And then it come up to us, and he weaved in straight behind us. Fantastic. At the time, I didn't think I'd done anything wrong, so we just carried on driving, and he flashed me. And I looked in the mirror and I thought, he can't be flashing me, I've not done anything wrong. So I carried on going. And then we were coming up to a petrol station, and he blue lighted me and flashed me again. So I pulled over into a petrol station and I stayed in the car, and he come out and he said, this your car? And I went, no, it's actually my partner's. He was sat outside of me. He said, can I see your driving licence? Yeah, I'll give him my driving licence. He asked my partner for her driving licence, check that. And then he said, just come to my car a minute. And I'm like, what the F swear word have I done? I get in the car and he says, the car's not insured to be on the road. I went, what? He said, the car, it's not actually insured to be on the road. He said, you're insured to drive the car, but the car itself isn't insured. So I said, right, have you any idea why? He said, no. He said, I don't know why, I'm just telling you now the car's not insured to be on the road. So I said, can I go and let my missus know? Because she was still sat in the Clio. So I went and said to her, I said, the car's uninsured. Do you know what's happened? And she went, no, I've no idea what's happened. She said, I'm insured by this company. She said, and everything's fine. So I said, well, you're going to phone them up and see what's going on. So she phones the company up. And they said, what we'd done, I'd done, she'd done, what we'd all done, what we'd just forgot was to change the insurance address. Yeah. My insurance, I'd changed my address. We'd both changed our driving licences. We'd both changed the gas, the electric, the Sky. We'd changed everything. But the one thing we forgot was to change the insurance on the Clio. So it was still in her old address. Now, the company had been supposedly trying to send her letters. Because she'd not replied to these 2 letters, they voided her insurance or cancelled it or did something that stopped her from being insured. So while she was on the phone, this is the most annoying part for me. This is what really, really wound me up. While she was on the phone, she said, well, can I change my address and restart my policy? And they said, yeah, there'll be a surcharge and admin fee. I think they charge 65 quid. So she changed her address right there and then, and the policy was restarted right there and then. And then the copper let us get in the car and drive off. Happy days. He'd give me a sheet of paper, writing on it that he'd pulled me over and whatnot, and we drove off. About 5 days later, I got a letter saying that I'd been summoned to Welsh courts for driving without insurance, and I would therefore be issued with an IN10. So an IN10 is driving without third-party insurance cover or something along them lines. So this was over 3 years ago now. So the problem with an IN10 is it's an absolute punishment, I think they call it. They call it an absolute charge where there's no leeway in it. There's no fighting it. There's no contesting it. Even though the car was insured right there at the side of the road, reinsured at the side of the road, and I drove off. And I drove off driving it, she didn't. I was fine. There's no leeway. He didn't say, oh, well, alright, fair enough, I'll let you off, because it was an honest mistake, I'll let you off. He didn't. He gave us this thing, and I had 6 points, an £120 fine, and it's on my licence for what I thought was 3 years. In March this year, I got a letter saying that the IN10 had expired. Brilliant. I completely forgot about it. My insurer knew, but I've been with the same insurer outside. I'm with Keith Michaels, and I've been with Keith Michaels for over 10 years. I don't even phone them or speak to them or anything. Every year they send me a different quote, a renewal, and I sign it and send it back. They're insurance brokers. Keith Michaels, they're absolutely fantastic. I've been with them for 10 years, and my contracts never changed. I mean, my insurance policies never changed. It's just rolling. Every year they send me a new quote, and I just sign a piece of paper and send it off. So I've never been uninsured. So I just completely forgot. I told Keith Michaels obviously that I had an IN10, and they said no problem. My premiums hardly changed. So I forgot about it. Got this letter, said that it had expired. Happy days. When the opportunity to come start my HGV training in April, I said, yeah, I've no, my IN10. I told the guy that was paying for my half of my my HGV lessons, I said, I've no IN10 now, so I'll be good to drive. Okay, fair enough. Obviously, that relationship with him broke down and I ended up paying for it myself. But that's another story. So I started doing my HGV. I applied in April, I think. And then, as you will see from my videos, I got my medical in May, and it started from there. So when I passed my HGV, I went to the first guy that I've told you about, if you've seen any of my previous videos, who promised me work, give him all my details, everything was fine, no problems. Yeah, I've got your work, I promise you work. At the same time, I signed on with an agency in Bolton, just off the cuff when I was shopping in Bolton. It said HGV drivers needed, so I went in. I signed on with them as well. Bearing in mind, everyone I've been to, every interview, every agency I've signed on for, I've all said, no, my licence is clean. No, I'm completely clean, I've no points or anything. Because I thought it expired. So, that first job that they promised me work, that fell through. The agency that I signed on at, they've just not been in touch and not said anything. So I went to that other job interview last week and signed on with another agency, and I've not heard anything. I emailed the guy from my job interview, and he said they'd no work, which is funny because he was crying out for people. Then I went to Driving Force in Altrincham, and they said, yeah, we'll get you in for an induction on next Thursday, being 4 days from now. Oh no, it was this week, so it would have been 2 days ago, my induction, and I was supposed to start my assessment week this week. And then I went to another driving agency near me, and I had to do a licence check over the phone with the DVLA. So obviously I'd gone in and I said to the guy who I was talking to at the agency, I said, no, my licence is completely clean. He said, would you do a DVLA check while you sat there? I said, yeah, of course, well, no problem. So I'm on phone to this woman, I've given my details and everything, and she said, you've got an IN10. I said, still? She said, yeah, it doesn't come off your licence until March 2020, which obviously is 5 months away. So I was like, brilliant. That is exactly why no one's been getting in touch with me, because they've just saw me and thought that I was a liar. It's an unfortunate error. It was an unfortunate mistake. I wouldn't say that it's entirely my fault. I mean, obviously you're going to say that, but, it was something and nothing, I don't know. But yeah, that's the issue with the agencies. I've still got this IN10. So at the moment, I'm struggling to get work because the first agency doesn't deal with IN10s. The second agency doesn't. Driving Force Altrincham won't even touch me. They won't even entertain me. The guy I spoke to, the Gaz, he said no. He said come back in March. He said and we're flooded with work. We'll have work for you all the time. He said but with your IN10, he said we can't come anywhere near you. We can't touch you. I said right. I said that's why I've not got an induction in it. He said yeah. So I'm guessing that's why the other agencies haven't been in touch, because they probably think that I'm a liar because I've turned up and said no when I actually have, but I completely forgot about it. So that's the story, and that's why I've been struggling with agencies, because I've still got this IN10 on my license and I'm going to have it until March next year. The problem is, as you all can tell, I'm so passionate about this. You know, I'm not going to moan at anything. I love it. I love the job. When I had that routing problem, you know, people had said to me, "Oh, I would have gone mad, me." Why? Why would you go mad about being routed wrong? You're in a wagon. You're driving. You can only drive and drop stuff off. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter if they want me to go from Warrington to Worsley to Warrington to Worsley to Warrington to Worsley. That's what they want me to do. I'm a driver. That's what I'll do. So it's a shame because I'm a good driver, and I know that I'm going to be good at my job once I've got used to it. Once I've got used to the delivery notes, once I've got used to where I'm going to drop off, I know that I'm going to be good at my job. So it's a bit unfortunate because I'm passionate about it and I love it. But it'll be off in March, so I'm going to stay with agency work though because I enjoy it. I like the variation, you know, the different wagons and the different items, the different customers and all that stuff. I'm going to stay with agencies. Probably next week. Yeah, probably next week from when this video goes up, I'm going to try and discuss pay with you. The problem with pay is that it's a little bit more complicated in HGV driving than just PAYE and getting paid. I'm going to explain, I try to explain the best of my knowledge because it's so complicated. It's unbelievable how complicated HGV pay can get. If you're PAYE, it's simple enough. But if you're not, if you want to go down different routes, that's what I'm going to try and explain. But I want to revise first because I don't want to give any bad information or bad advice. You know, I've tried my best to be as thorough with everything that I've done on this channel and tried to give the best advice that I personally possibly can. I don't want to give anyone bad advice or lead them in a wrong direction or anything else, because when you take the plunge into HGV driving, if you choose a wrong direction, it could really, really screw you up. It could really backfire and bite you in the bottom. So that was the problem. That's the issue that I've been having with agencies, the IN10. It's unfortunate. It was, you know, a very, very honest mistake. It could have happened to anyone. And it does happen to anyone. It says on Keith Michael's website that a lot of these IN10s are given out to people that have got alloys on the car that didn't know they had alloys on the car or didn't think to report that they'd had alloys on the car. If you buy a car and it's got 13-inch alloys on it, like my Focus has outside, and it didn't come with them standard, it come with plastic wheel trims, if you have a bump and the insurer sees that you've got alloys on it that wasn't declared and your car had 13-inch rims as standard, your insurance is void, seriously, and you'll be issued with an IN10 driving with no insurance. It can be as pathetic as that. If you've got, you know, a sports cat in the middle of your exhaust and it gets seen, if you have a bump and you've not declared it, you've declared that you've still got the original catalytic converter on it, you're driving without insurance, it's void. So there is loads of ways, oh my knee, there is loads of ways of being caught driving without insurance. Doesn't actually mean you're not insured. It means that something might have happened along the lines where your insurance is now void, so you are classed as driving without insurance. So that's that. I have rambled on way too much. It's amazing how much I can talk in front of a camera. Wow, considering I was so bad at it when I first started. So that's my problem. That's my issue. More vlogs to come. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves out there, and I will be back in a few days. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.